Hello and welcome to all my viewers from around the world. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting, coming at you guys today with a 1v1 live game. Spawning up in the north, we have the UK forces of Hama. Meanwhile, spawning down in the south, we have the Overcommand West forces of Spander. The map today is, you know what, I can't remember the name of this map. I'm just going to go out and say it. Yep, that's poorly researched material, that is, Magpie. You really ought to know better than that. Anyway, yeah, I played on this map like maybe only 2 or 3 times. It seems very open, like there's a lot of good scope for using snipers, MGs, mortars pretty potent on this map as well. More structures on the right than on the left, and there's this kind of like little wall thing here, which is a fairly unusual feature. You don't get that on many maps. I believe there's a couple of vineyards around the place. Let's see, any vineyards? No vineyards, okay. Yep, so let's see, Spander has chosen his commander straight away. Seems like he's most at home using the fortifications doctrine. That's going to give him early access to the MG34 heavy machine gun. He's going to get those heavy fortifications for his Storm Pioneers. Field defences at command points 3 will allow him to purchase the bunkers, same as the Wehrmacht get. He also borrows the Pak 43, similar to the ones that the Wehrmacht can build, which on this map actually, that's going to be pretty commanding. And the zeroing artillery is a pretty hefty call-in that you can use, and the longer the target remains visible, the more shells get fired at it. Hama has at his disposal, he has the Royal Engineer Regiment, which I imagine we're all familiar with by now. He has the Commando Regiment, which I likewise imagine we are all familiar with by now. And he has the rather spicy Vanguard Operations Regiment, which has a number of useful upgrades. I imagine he'll be using this because it seems to be the best of the British commanders. You get some very useful abilities. He gets vehicle crew repairs, which is one of the best things in the Royal Engineer tree. But he also gets the strafing support, which is awesome. He gets the Crocodile, which is... well, you know what? I've hardly ever seen it in play, but I was literally just reading a thread on the forum where people were whining about how good it is, and I know that they're testing the patch to reduce both its health and half its damage, I think, more or less. So possibly a little too spicy is the Crocodile at the moment. Time will tell. Hopefully we'll get to see it used. I'd love to see it on the battlefield today. Both forces fanning out. We've had no little skirmishes yet. They've actually managed to avoid each other. The Overcommand forces of Spander committing to the left of the map, whilst the forces of the UKF for Hama taking the right. We've got one Vickers, one Tommy being the units chosen for Hama. Meanwhile, 3 Volks for Spander. Seems like he's gone for the what do we call this? Mechanized Regiment headquarters, rather than the more commonly taken Battle Gripper headquarters. So that's going to give him early access to things like the Puma, the Stuckers and Fuss, the Flak half-track, any of which I'd like to see used against the Brits, because I've not seen it before. And it also gives him access to that resource conversion, which is pretty potent. This Vickers getting set up into a good position, but unfortunately caught out of arc by a nice little move here from the Storm Pioneers, losing 1 man as they come past this building, but able to fall the Vickers back, and that is going to enable these Volksgrenadiers, combined with these Storm Pioneers and possibly additional support moving in from the west here, might be able to displace these Tommies from this building. No, they're just going to go for a land grab instead. Some trenches being built here by the British player.
Capture point is being overrun.
If we look at the minimap, you can see that 2 of the 3 victory points are in close proximity and on the right-hand side of the map. This means holding the right, obviously, more valuable than holding the left of the map.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take
Having said that, the only fuel point on the map, let me crack up the tactical map, the only fuel point, right here on the left. So there is a oh no, sorry, there's another fuel point here, so whatever. Knowing what you're on about commentating, always a good thing, but clearly not essential. Royal Engineers coming out, which means that the first 35 fuel has gone on the early Tier 1 upgrade for the Brits. The platoon command post there coming up. The Welsh boys getting in here against these Volksgrenadiers who are in the building. Another squad of Volks comes to back them up. This Vickers is going to start doing work though, and you've got to feel like these Volks at least want to get out of there. Probably the guys in the building as well. Surrounded as they are, they've got Tommies on all sides, engineers up close doing work with Vickers here, and somehow something is suppressing these guys. I've got to imagine it was the Vickers K defense booth here. Oh wow, they're in negative cover, suppressed in the open. You want to get out of there, boys, and they're just going to trade for time apparently. MG34 getting set up though, and this wants to focus the Vickers, but it doesn't. And I think things are falling apart here for Spander. I think he's got to try and fall back with some of his units. He's got to be thinking about exfiltrating at least. And here we have the Overcommand Flak track coming out. I believe that unit cost 55 fuel. Let me just check that.
Ammunition now available.
Yep, 55 fuel, 270 manpower, and a very potent unit. Pretty cool. What I like about this is it may force the AEC 10 from the British player, and that would be, I mean, the Puma is like an AEC, but kind of slightly better. Oh no, is there going to be a squad wipe on this last Volks? Nah, he's fine. He's going to get out of there. So no squad wipes inflicted for either side there. The SAS sniper is going to come out, and that's going to give the British player an option to fend off this half-track here as it comes out shortly. Just entering the field now, here it is. Pretty devastating unit this though, and it's got a long range, long enough to worry the SAS sniper, I think. So the SAS sniper is going to be good, but there is some danger. He could get caught by that flat cannon. Tommy's here going to run around a line of sight blocker straight into some Storm Pioneers. Oh wow, but Hama straight there with the attentiveness there too. His unit's going to get them out of there. Bring in some Royal Engineers who already have the minefield, the Minesweeper. And they're going to come forward here. Flak half-track is going to get deployed. Oh, the SAS sniper sees it and he's going to get out of there. Now the Tommies here of Hama have an interesting opportunity to set up before they decide to take this on. But it looks like they're not going to do that. They're just going to let the flak half-track have this area and move their attention to the right, which is fair enough. Pulling ahead now in victory points by just 11 at the moment, but still holding 2-1 are the British forces of Hama. So that's he's probably content just to cede control of this area for now. This flak half-track really wants to just drive around the corner because it's not going to do much good otherwise. Sniper in the building here, immediately downing one guy from these Volks grenades. Where are these Volks going? Oh my god. They're just going to get massacred, aren't they? This Vickers just going to mow them down. No, they're going to get a grenade onto it, fair enough.
Now capture point. They're trying to take it.
This half-track is doing nothing. I'm confused about the positioning there. I think he thought he could see more guys. Now this is a much better position. This I rather like. Now the SAS sniper is forced to relocate. And it's going to start lumping in for damage. And he's going to have to save up for a quarter-pounder gun is the... for a 6-pounder gun is the... is Hama. A Spander flanking out, getting his infantry into nice positions. I'd love him just to pop these Volks into this building. That'll keep the pressure up because they're not actually attacking right now. And here's the 6-pounder, and that's going to force the half-track back, but it doesn't. That's instantly killed. Basically did nothing. So that is a heavy setback for the Overcommand forces, who, because they have the fuel converter turned on, sorry? No, not turned on. But still have a reasonable stash of fuel left over, enough to think about getting a Puma as the game moves forward. Going to want to get these Storm Pioneers out of here. They're getting plinked down by this SAS sniper, and that's never what they want to be doing. MG34 and a squad of Volks going to set up in this building. Volks are going to pop into this forward building, which I really like. Needs to change the facing on this MG, that's better. And where's the Vickers now for the British forces? Falling back, okay. And the slick, oiled, polished thunk of the MG34 as it looses a hail of rounds into these Tommies in the building. Going to force them back. SAS sniper, how many kills did he get during that fight? Just 4. And they must have mostly been Volks. If you look at the amount of veterancy he's picked up, it's not a lot. Finally moving out to grab some points on the right-hand side of the map is Spander. Just a single squad being spared down the left would be enough to claim some ground, to start really chewing into the resources of Spander. If Hama could just spare a squad of Tommies. But this is obviously the curse of the British in the early game. All their units are very manpower intensive. Though having said that, Hama is floating over 400 manpower, so either he's got a purchase in mind or he's neglected to build a squad at this point. And, he has gone for the Vanguard Operations Regiment, fantastic. So stage 1 of seeing the crocodile in action is underway. Now we just need the game to go long enough. So here's hoping for a stalemate. Anyway, grenade getting used against these Royal Engineers. Nice fallback, but still 3 of them getting gibbed. That is just rough. Wow, the fallback undoubtedly saving that squad, I think. Vickers getting deployed at the back, and the SAS sniper is chipping in damage. These Volks are going to want to get out of there. They're probably going to fall back. Ooh, the glider coming in, so we're going to have some command... so that's what the floating manpower is for. He's saving up 540 to get the forward logistics glider. And that is going to land... what? On the munitions point? No? It's coming in here? Yep. Graceful. A graceful landing there. And, oh, that's interesting. So, this forward logistics, so he can fall back to it, it can reinforce, and also it gives bonus resources from this sector. So it's now providing 10 munitions and 6 fuel. Actually, literally double what a standard point would. That is pretty dope. That is pretty buff. I'm quite impressed with that. I didn't realise it doubled the resources. That is hench. Loving that. And of course the forward logistics officer immediately making a difference, getting a squad wipe, and the Overcommand forces pretty beleaguered now, consisting of just 3 squads. That is risk. That is risk. Just 3 squads of Volks, some Oversoldaten coming in, and still floating enough to get a 4th squad in the near future, or even a 5th, sorry, is Spander. Now, I mean, he commands the map, and he does have his Panzer HQ deployed in a decent position to defend this region of the map. He could have pushed it a bit further forwards, to be honest. Positioning it, for example, just here would enable it to cover this all-important command point. So I would have liked that, and also, of course, the fuel point too. Yeah, you know, this will do, and it's definitely more defensible than positioning it more aggressively here. And that, you know, you've got to respect the fact that that costs 200 manpower, 1 of your trucks, which you only get every 3 minutes if they get destroyed, and also 80 fuel. So, you know, ever the risk-reward balance being taken into account by overcommand players with their truck positioning. But the British forces, I would say, in firm control of this game, firm control. And they really should, you know, just send a couple of units, and they are just 2, maybe even a 3rd would be nice, just to come up and start grabbing some land up here. They're going to find out about this flak half-track if they move too close to it shortly. And we'll see what damage Hama can get done here. He's definitely on top. Let's see if he can make some advantage. Oh, and a Lukes is the choice. Controversial. I mean, there's an SAS sniper and a 6-pounder in a good position, so I'm not really sure how much this Lukes is going to do. If he commits it to the left flank, where there's only Tommies without either the 6-pounder or the sniper, yeah, could do some work. Could do some work, and he is going to send it left. I like that choice. The SAS sniper is going to transfer, though. Oh wow, this Volks Grenadier wants to get out. Oh, there's an opportunity for a squad wipe here on the sniper. Not going to get it, though. Goes behind the line of sight blocker of this hedge, does the Volks Grenadier. And the Lukes is going to run down these Tommies, chasing them back to base for the time being. The 2cm autocannon doing some good work. I believe it's a 2cm autocannon. A flump, flump, flump. There it is. Good times, good times. And these Tommies need to be reinforced. They also need to use their medkits. But I'm sure Hama will get round to that just as soon as he's done doing other things. SAS sniper now up to 1-star veterancy with 10 headshots. That's pretty cool. He's going to take the aimed shot, but he unable to get it off as the Lukes gets out of range. Takes a hit from the AT gun and is going to fall back. The Storm Pioneers, I'm sure, when they're built, will be all over that. In fact, no, he can actually just fall it back to his Mechanized Regiment HQ. That's probably the smart plan. So, forced to cede control of the right-hand half of the map, which is the winning half of the map, but able to put on, oh dearie me, getting the Lukes ensnared in some trouble in mid. That is not good. It should be able to escape, though. Can't see the SAS sniper or the 6-pounder gun. Here comes the sniper, though. Oh, that Lukes is so terribly wounded. But yeah, despite the fact that he has, like, for a large couple of minutes there, had fewer units than his opponent, Spander able to hold on to the left-hand side of the map. And so he's only, like, I don't know, like 83, 84 victory points behind, which, given the horrendous losses he took earlier, not so bad. So unit of Storm Pioneer is going to come along. That's going to help repair the Lukes faster, as the SAS sniper and the Vickers still doing work in mid here. Volks Grenadiers on the fullback. I'd like to see a double lig. I think the double lig would be really good. I mean, I know he's far away from having the manpower and is in quite a stressed position right now insofar as his opponent has the upper hand and is pushing. But I'd love to see a double lig simply to basically take care of any units in these buildings and then threaten the forward logistics glider for the Brits there. So let's see if these Storm Pioneers, yeah, they're going to come and help repair this Lukes, and that should be back on the field in a moment's time. The Oversoldaten, how well have they been doing? Up to 2 kills and some veterancy, but not really that good. Possibly they got held back by the sniper there, not sure. Sniper is up to 13 kills now and has got half a level of veterancy, so I have to imagine that was the case. British forces coming across the right to take care of these Volks Grenadier here. SAS snipers going to ping one off.
Trying to take one of our points.
There it goes. And the commandos, of course, accompanying the forward logistics officer, sorry, the air landing officer is his name, are really, really dangerous, so you have to respect them. Basically, commandos just do a very high amount of damage. And the sniper here, able to disable the engine on the Lukes as the 6-pounder moves into position. That's a Lukes that needs to start moving. It's probably too late. It should have been moving many seconds before now. If it can just get behind this hedge, it will be okay, but the 6-pounder is going to get at least one shot, you have to feel. Where's he going to go? Oh no, some Volks Grenadiers going to come in and attack this 6-pounder, force it to reposition. Mines in the road going to do yet more damage to the Lukes, which is going to hobble back. That Lukes has not had the best of luck, as the Obersoldaten are going to attack these Tommies in trenches, but I don't think they're going to do them very much damage, unless they decide to opt to use a bundle grenade, but there isn't munitions available. Playing as Overcommand, your resources always stretched, and Spander finds himself unable to utilise the powerful bundle grenade there for the Obersoldaten. And they're going to be repulsed, I would have thought, handily by these Tommies, who are going to vet up, probably to vet 3. You get a lot of experience for shooting at Obersoldaten, so they've done well there. And some Tommies on the left flank constructing some trenches in a nice position. This is what I mean. I think if this half track was here, it would just command a slightly better area. I haven't seen it do particularly a lot yet. And so let's have a look at Hama. He's just spent his fuel. So yeah, the company command post has been constructed, and we have a Centaur, the choice, for 100 fuel and 320 manpower. And that is going to command the battlefield nicely. And I've noticed this about British players. When they get the advantage, they go for the company command post and they get this Centaur out. They've got enough support in the form of SAS snipers, 6-pounder guns, and they've got enough bits and pieces that they don't have to worry too much about the opponent countering their AA tank with just a regular tank. And the AA tank then just basically becomes the most important unit on the battlefield. It dictates the flow of the game, it dictates where the British player is strong and weak, and it dictates what moves the Axis player is able to make. So it's a very controlling piece, is the Centaur AA half-track when it arrives. And yeah, it's not as good as an Ostwind. Like I think it's just not as good. Like it just doesn't do the DPS, sorry. But it is cheaper, and it does have a number of advantages. And I think for the cost, it's definitely worth it. I'd say it's as good as the Ostwind. It just doesn't have the DPS. It's just better in other ways. Anyway, coming out onto the left flank is the Centaur AA half-track. The engine just thunking away there. I believe it's a Berlin engine or something. Or is it a Rolls-Royce? Can't remember, but it's basically from an aircraft. Wow, able to repulse the Lukes in quick order. Unit of Volks with a Shrek here, able to get some veterancy by dealing damage to the Centaur. You need to get that Lukes further back, man. We're going to lose it. No! Spander. Spander, I fear for your Lukes. Oh, and a clutch use of concealed movement there. What's it called? Cautious movement. Yeah. Clutch use of cautious movement. Able to save the Lukes. And this Centaur is actually taking a pounding from the flat gun in that position. So that's good. Maybe a squad wipe going here. Nope, not going to be gotten. As the sniper forced back in mid by Obersoldaten. No pressure on the right hand side of the map for the Axis player Spander. But another Lukes is the choice. I mean, that is bold play. That is putting a lot of eggs in one basket. I'm not sure about this, basically. I mean, he knows his opponent has a Centaur. This Lukes needs to go. Oh, dearie me. That Lukes is just getting destroyed-inated. He's not microing it at all. I think his attention's elsewhere, and I think it's too late to save it. Oh, I don't know. Centaur's going to come forward, and that's risk for the Centaur. But if we look at the forces in the top left and the top right of the map, a devastating amount of infantry has been lost for Spander, and it's going to be quite a long time before he has another crack at this game, let's put it that way. Because at the moment, with these forces, I mean, what can he achieve? He can try and hold on to this left-hand victory point, which is crucial for buying him as much chance to get back into this game as possible. But beyond that, I'm not sure what else he can really do. He can send the Lukes for a dive. Yep, this is one thing he can do to buy himself some time, but it's not going to buy him much time, and the risk to the Lukes is extreme. I'm not sure I would have made a move like this, but I mean, he managed to kill some models of infantry for half damage on the Lukes, which is okay, but I mean, it just takes one thing to go round. A critical shot from the sniper, an engine damage from a hit, or a mine. It just takes one thing, and then you don't have a Lukes. And like right now, that Lukes is like a third of your army. So it's that's risky times out there. That is risky times. But hey, when you're behind, you can't play conservatively, or else you'll lose pretty much. So fair enough. Vicker's now gone up to 2 stars. Going to get some Daka down on these Volks Grenadiers. Oh, dearie me, and the 6-pounder chipping in a tremendous hit, and the engine is gone on the Lukes. The 6-pounder going to take advantage and start pushing forward. Going to try and stalk the Lukes down a bit. The SAS sniper likewise coming forward. The unit of Volks forced back, so this Lukes is unsupported, but should be okay in the safety of this flak truck, and I worry for the sniper. He doesn't want to go too far forward. This dotted line is a bit misleading. The flak truck can actually fire just a bit further, usually. So keep an eye out for that. Finding some more victims. This SAS sniper being used very well. Hama, a competent British commander. I've not seen him make any real mistakes. And yeah, it's just a pokey player. That's Hama. Okay, now this is he doesn't want to try and trade the sniper for the flak truck. That doesn't go well. But he's going to position the 6-pounder. If he uses attack ground, he can just keep plinking it down. And I imagine that's what he'll do. There it is. So there's not going to be a Schwerer Panzer HQ for much longer. Spander's fuel at 96 means that he's not going to see a proper tank out of that building. And I kind of think if he'd have not built the 2 Lukes, I mean, they've been okay, but I don't think they've been game-breaking. So I would have liked to have seen him. That's 110 fuel right there. He could have had a Panther out by now. And I would have liked that a little better. I think the Lukes are okay, but I'm not sure this is the map for them, and I'm not sure Brits are the opponents for them. And I'm sure if your opponent already has a Centaur, an SAS sniper, and a 6-pounder gun, then it is some ballsy play to go for another Lukes. Anyway, bringing the Storm Pioneers, repairing the Schwerer Panzer HQ, as the 2 Lukes are going to go for a dive, and surely this is going to be the end of these Lukes. One of them goes down, just blazed down by the Centaur. The 6-pounder is going to rotate. Centaur keeps tracking the Lukes, which is going to try and get around behind it as the Hawks come in, trying to focus down the Centaur, but they're getting destroyed by all kinds of commandos, forward logistics operators, and I'm sure we're going to see GG in just a second. The forces of the Overcommand best player being decimated in a final push, and wow. I mean, I guess he felt like he had to make a move, but that was a move that he couldn't possibly have won with. And you know what? If he'd have taken that ball of forces and just said, yeah, you know what, I'll leave the Storm Pioneers here, you can have the Schwerer Panzer HQ, whatever. And if he'd have sent that ball of forces with the double Lukes up here, through here, just I don't know, just marauding through here, he could have probably gotten the forward logistics glider and bought himself a bit more time by decapping, maybe capping, these 2 command points. Now again, that's something which I can say because I'm an observer and I see everything. You know, especially when you're behind and you don't have many units out there spotting for Fogger. Well, here comes the Crocodile. So we did get to see it, but this isn't quite the way I wanted to see it. Crushing a player who's pretty much down now. And I'm going to start working on that building. I think Hama has realised the extent of his advantage, and he's just going to throw the enemy base. There's a Puma on the way, so fair enough for not quitting his Spander. But the base defense is going to last like mere seconds against this kind of flaming. Yep. And no units remain for Spander. Well, that's not true. He has a Schwerer of a Max Schlepper. Is that going to be able to turn the tide against the Crocodile and the Centaur? You decide. For those of you who said yes, you were wrong. And just coming to terms with this loss here is Spander. Basically trolling for time. Here comes the Puma. Going to start pinging down the Centaur. Needs to move. Might want to micro this guy. No. Not like that.
The enemy are at 200 points.
And there is the GG from Spander. And it is safe to say that that game was pretty one-sided. Hama displaying his proficiency with the British forces and able to take the lead using this Vanguard Operations Regiment. You can tell he was experienced with that guy because he saved up just at the right manpower bubble, just at the 3 command point mark to get this glider out, and that was pretty cool. He knew exactly how to use his sniper. Like, that's clearly a polished build that he's really familiar with. And I think the Spander was kind of ad-libbing a bit. Also, Spander chose his commander well before the 1 command point time, which is when he can first get any benefit out of it. So I think Spander was just, I don't know, maybe just committed to experimenting with a new commander or something like that. Anyway, that concludes this broadcast in 23 minutes 09, Hama defeating Spander. This is Magpie 842 signing out. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.